come off the track. How was this morning's session?
Yeah, nice and hot and sweaty, as you can probably see, but it's no, it wasn't too bad session. It's pretty light now compared to what we're used to over pre-season. Just working on a few simple sort of things that we're not quite getting right in the NAB Cup. So yeah, we're just getting ready to play St Kilda this weekend and trying to keep reasonably fresh, because I think this weekend we're going in with a typical sort of AFL regular season sort of rotations and game and team sort of wise, so getting geared up.
It's been a really good NAB challenge for the guys. I think even statistically, if you had a ladder, these would be second at the moment. I mean, really positive from that point of view, just getting the wins on the board.
Not so much about the wins as much as just the way we sort of want to play, and really ingraining the way we've trained, and hopefully that comes out in the way we play. And I think even though we haven't played amazing sort of football, like it hadn't been the most efficient or sexy sort of football, we've been doing the contested ball and tackling and inside stuff pretty well, and that's sort of the baseline, and the missed handballs and missed kicks are going to improve as we keep nailing that down. So it's been a pretty positive pre-season so far.
How much does that really help? I mean, even though the scratch match is in effect, how much does it help the confidence just having those wins?
Well, I've never won 2 games in a row, be it NAB Cup or regular season, so it's a first. But yeah, I don't think if we had lost both the games, if we had played the same way, we wouldn't be too concerned either, I don't think so.
And the Saints this week, I mean, it's first of 3 times you play them at Etihad. I mean, what do you sort of learn from playing them early, even though it doesn't count for points, but that can actually help for later in the year?
Oh, you learn, I think, about the way they may have changed things over the pre-season. You see some of their new players. You see maybe new setups. We hear about like Rewalt playing more wing midfield sort of role, and their other guys playing key forward. So from my sort of point of view, that'll be different. And I think, playing them 3 times is helpful to get one in the NAB Cup as well. So when we play them back there, I think we've last year was a close loss that hopefully we can rectify that. And if we're in the same situation, we do things a bit differently.
I guess it's one of the really good matchups of the comp now, yourself and Nick Rewalt. I mean, how do you sort of see it lining up on him?
Oh, no, I don't sort of see it as a thing you circle on the calendar or anything like that. And hopefully the way we're playing this year, it's not as much about just a one-on-one matchup, and we all help each other out. So I help Cole Garland out, I help Oscar helps us, and we probably split the time on different forwards evenly around the ground. So hopefully if things are working well, that's the way it is, and you don't have to be so conscious of your own man, and we can help each other out a bit more.
Just on Oscar, how's he going from a big brother's point of view? And I guess watching on, how do you expect him to go this year?
He's been doing some good things in pre-season. He adds some things to the team that could be really helpful. He's put on a bit more size. He's still skinny, but I think now he's strong enough to sort of compete. I think down the track 2 or 3 years he'll be a lot bigger boy, and probably a lot bigger than me. So he's added some good things, and had last week off, and hopefully back in this week I think he is, and ready to go, and I don't know, put his hand up for round 1, which would be pretty exciting.
And a real feather in your cap, mate, getting appointed to the leadership group. What does it mean to you, just being appointed amongst that group?
Well, there's sort of 2 ways to look at it. The first one is it's a real honour to have your teammates vote you in, and the coaches approve the selection, which hopefully means they respect my ability to be a leader. But I think the second part of it is that it doesn't actually mean anything or change anything. It doesn't. We don't want guys to go now out of their way through in the leadership group to change the way they lead and doing different things, because what they did got them there in the first place. Maybe there's a bit of a heightened focus on some things, but I think it's just go about things the way I have over the past pre-season and the past 4 or 5 years. So that's the way I'm looking at it. I
guess in your own words, I mean, people can sort of look at you and say what you bring to the leadership, but what do you feel is the best trait you bring to it?
I think I try to set a good example on how to prepare and compete for AFL football. I need to be more vocal on the field in setting up teammates, especially when it gets late in games and you're tired. Sometimes you start to think about just where you're supposed to be, but I think now in a leadership position you have to think about others and how they're setting up, and so I've had a bit of a focus on that, and I'm still not great at it. I'm getting better at it, but that's a big improvement area. But I think just keep going to lead by example and show the way to some of the younger guys.